Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and selamat pagi. Welcome to AeU University on another webinar series with the team Unperturbed, but we mutated stronger. And today we have dedicated this webinar on Unipreneurs scale-up business in the new normal. The ILO reported in 2021 that despite economies rebounding from the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic, lows and quick action by government to pass much-needed fiscal stimulus, the pandemic-induced shortfalls in jobs is estimated to remain at 75 million in 2021 and fall to 23 million in 2022. The Ministry of Higher Education, Malaysia, estimated that 1 in 5 of fresh graduates in Malaysia is struggling with unemployment today, despite investing a large amount of money and time obtaining their bachelor's degree. This phenomenon prompts the need for an innovative scheme that aims to promote and develop entrepreneurial skills for students to create potential employment opportunities by producing unipreneurs. The objective of this webinar is to identify and analyze the main impacts of COVID-19 on entrepreneurs, their reaction, as well as the support they have received to face the current situation. But as difficult and disruptive as the past years have been for entrepreneurs, the situation has not been and is not now hopeless. When business as usual is not feasible, entrepreneurs need to innovate, think like a startup or scale up, and adapt to changing circumstances. This webinar hopes to help entrepreneurs, especially the startup and the scale up entrepreneurs, to make these changes in the spirit of Malaysia Prihatin, the tagline of 64 Merdeka Independence celebration this August 2021. Bank Rakyat, through AeU Unipreneurs, is providing alternative, decent job opportunities for its young, fresh graduates to step up in an interesting and challenging world of entrepreneurship in the new normal. AeU is one of the 10 universities in Malaysia being offered the Bank Rakyat Unipreneur scheme. Please play the
It all started with the desire to expand our business and go further. Since its establishment as a cooperative bank on 28 September 1954, Bank Rakyat has undergone countless positive transformations. The transformation from a conventional bank to a banking system based on Sharia principles has enabled the bank to record encouraging growth year after year. Bank Rakyat consistently breaks through all challenges and obstacles beyond borders and looks at the business environment from a different spectrum based on Sharia principles and Islamic norms by providing a solid foundation today for generations to come. With the vision of becoming Malaysia's #1 progressive Islamic cooperative bank and the mission to enhance economic well-being of our members, customers and nation, Bank Rakyat holds on to its mandated role, which is to uplift the economic status and development of communities. Outstanding awards and recognitions received domestically and globally provide a clear testimony that we have made significant impact in the industries that we are associated with. In addition to Islamic banking, Bank Rakyat also plays a major role in enabling the cooperative sector for the benefit of our members to further develop their business. We continue to expand our product range and customer facilities that are varied and innovative, which include retail banking, commercial financing, savings and investments, as well as products for financial planning to satisfy the demands of our customers. Efficient delivery channels continue to be explored and continuously improved. Bank Rakyat continues to maintain a community-friendly corporate image to place us on a sound footing as your bank of choice.
Thank you very much. And we are fortunate today to have the chairman of Bank Rakyat Malaysia, Adjunct Professor Datuk Haji Abdurrani Lebai Jaafar, to talk more about the Rakyatpreneurs, the 2.0 program to help in producing more social entrepreneurs. He's a member of the Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals, Financial Institution Directors Education Program, and Bank Rakyat, Bank Negara Malaysia, the National Bank. Central Bank. And he's also the adjunct professor at AeU University. And we shall also continue with the Go Nesgoyo program.
It must come from the heart to help many of those who need it in life. Creating prosperity for all is part of brotherhood. That nobody is left behind. We in the business sector, as large corporations, must embrace inclusivity. It is about time that we give hope to micro and small entrepreneurs. My promise to you is we are here for you to help.
The government will intensify its efforts to help businesses, especially micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMEs. Ito ang panahon para suportahan natin ang ating mga kababayan na nananegosyo.
Let us work together to realize our hopes and dreams for our people and nation.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we are fortunate to have the Professor Nonoy, the founder and president of Fomcar Consultants and associate chairman of Philippines, RD7 Economic Development Center, the immediate past president of Cebu Chambers of Commerce and Industry with 900 strong members and companies. He has been with Go Nesgoyo Visayo coordinator and a lead mentor in the Kapatid Mentor Me program. And we are also fortunate to have the mentee of Prof. Nonoy, who is today Ms. Tata, the founder and creative director of Alter to Enhance, ETA by Tata and Retail Shop, established in 2014 with branches in Cebu and Manila. She is a mentee of the Department of Trade and Industry and goes Nesgoyo Kapatid Mentor Me program batch 1. And she has now become a mentor herself for the Mentor Me on Wheels. So we are very fortunate to have 3 distinguished members today to give us an overview of the micro, small, medium-sized entrepreneurs. But before we begin, I would like to just read some of the procedures that I shall present the issues to the 3 speakers, followed by their responses, and then Q&A. The participants can pose their questions online, and they will be answered if during the question and answer session. And subsequent questions from me shall be addressed to another speaker on a rotational basis. After all the speakers have given their views, there shall be about 10 minutes question and answer to summarize the topic of today. It is to be reminded that this webinar shall refrain from discussing any sensitive issues that involve politics, race, and religion. First question, I will pose it to Professor Nonoy, and then followed by Dato uh, and Ms. Tata. Question. In the World Bank report 2020 on understanding poverty, the the micro, small, medium-sized entrepreneurs, in short, MSME, are referred to the backbone of the country. In your experience, why MSME are so significant to most economies, particularly in developing countries? Please illustrate the importance of micro, small, medium-sized entrepreneurs in your country.
Good morning, Professor Show, and good morning to the fellow distinguished speakers as well as to the audience today. No? Well, micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMEs have very important role in developing the Philippine economy. They help reduce poverty by creating jobs for the country's growing labor force. They serve as valuable partners to large enterprises as suppliers and providers of support services. MSMEs accounted for up to 99.5% of total enterprises and employ at least 62% of the Philippines' workforce. MSMEs also contribute to a significant portion of the country's gross domestic product with 36% of the total GDP. Around 83% of the MSMEs are in the top five industry sectors in 2020. These are the wholesaler, retailer trade, repair and motor vehicles. Next slide, please. Accommodation and food service activities, manufacturing, other services, and financial and insurance activities. The drive of Go Negosyo is to support these MSMEs and generate more employment as an advocacy on Angat Lahat, that's our language. Angat Lahat means prosperity for all. The chart shows why inclusive growth can sharply reduce, and in this pandemic, the need to support them revive, survive, or even pivot. When you support MSMEs, they are going to continue and generate more employment. And more employment means more consumption, and more consumption gives opportunity to increase production or even importation, thereby opening opportunities for more investments. So hence, if we really want to address poverty, the best way is to grow the micro, small, medium enterprises. Let us support MSMEs. Thank you very much, Mr. Show.
Thank you
Professor.
very much. Prof, no, just to inquire from you, what is the meaning of NES Go Show?
Negosyo, this is our dialect which means business. So we say go negosyo, that means go business. Go business. Go negosyo. So I say, let's go business. Let's
Okay.
go negosyo.
Yes.
Yes.
What
Go
about you?
have business.
Okay. Prof. Dato Haji Abdurrani, any comments from you from the Malaysian side?
Okay, thank you, Prof. Seo, distinguished speakers, all the audience today. Thank you for giving Rakyat an opportunity to be part of this session this morning. As we all know that in Malaysia today, MSME, micro, small, medium enterprise, made up about 95% of the businesses sector in Malaysia. And to date, we estimated that 1.5 million entrepreneurs in this sector, contributing about 38.2% of national GDP and employing almost half of the country workforce, or 7.3 million person in 2020. The government understand the importance of this sector. That's why under DKN, which we call National Entrepreneurship Policy 2030. By 2030, MEDEC, or Ministry of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperative, plan to develop this sector to contribute 50% of GDP and 80% of job opportunities. Bank Rakyat, as one of agency under MEDEC, is poised to support MSME sector as per our vision, Malaysia #1 progressive Islamic bank, and our mission is to enhance the economic well-being of members, customers, and nation. And to date, we have over 800,000 members, of which 70% of our members are B40, and we have 2,000 cooperative being the member and shareholders of Bank Rakyat. And we want to note here, for the past 22 years, Bank Rakyat has been giving double-digit dividend to our members. In fact, last year, during the pandemic 2020, Bank Rakyat managed to give 13% of dividend for the members for the benefit of our 800,000 individual members and 2,000 cooperative members. When we decided to start our program on this Asnaf Prono and Rakyat Prono, which we piloted Asnaf Prono in 2019, and in 2020, when the pandemic COVID started, that we realized that many of the Rakyat, the people, losing their jobs, in difficulties, they have lost whatever their income, and many of those people, and even the T20, the top groups, are moving downwards. They are engineers, senior pilot, professional that never thought that they will be in this situation. They are out of saving. Many people in hardship because this pandemic of COVID-19 is really unprecedented. It's across the world. If you look at the previous crisis, i.e. ASEAN financial crisis, subprime, is more of regional. When ASEAN financial crisis is just located in Asia, and people still can travel, people still can move across the region. You lost a job in Malaysia, you can go to Dubai, go to Philippines, go to US because they are doing well at the time. And during the subprime, US and Europe are affected, but we are booming here. So that kind of regional, and people still have room. But this kind of pandemic, the people across the world are facing with the life-threatening situation. We're facing with economic uncertainties, loss of income. We're talking about mental illness. We're talking about company breakup. Many people are committing suicide, unprecedented. And our facilities to undertake, this, the hospital are filled up. A lot of suffering across the world with now the vaccination. Also in Malaysia currently is just about 50%, and everybody are very uncertain moving forward. So as such, being a bank of choice, we have responsibility under our MEDEC ministry that we have come up with few programs that will have an immediate impact to the people. That's why we started with the pilot. We do not go big scale. We start with the piloting to see what are the needs, what are the people, what are the category, until Rakyat Prono that we launched after successful pilot. We launched in July, of which is cut across the country about 200 people from B40, from Asnaf, from all kind of business, that we give immediate injection of fund, of which if they be able to pay when they are ready, they can pay, and we do not only give a fund for this, but we give them the training, the mentor, the coaching, and also we, by virtue of our program, that in Malaysia currently about 2.8 million unregistered or underserved sectors. These people, they are peddler, they are small retail, micro businesses, they are not registered, they don't have the track record, they cannot go into the formal system. So by virtue they entering our program, they can open the bank account because all the disbursement will be going to bank account. They got one formal. We provide them with training through webinar in terms of how to do the online business, how to conduct their web page, how to promote their business. And we give a lot of training in terms of management, administration, accounting, many things that we hold hand with them. And then we also project in terms of marketing of this entrepreneur in the YouTube through all the channel that we have about their products. And by the end of 6 months when we piloted, we see there is an enhanced increase in terms of the sale between the 10 to 20%. And there are a lot of confidence within these people that so that's why when we launched this Rakyat Prono in July with 200, and we allocated 2 million across the country. It is running now. This program will be a great success. We have a lot of good words within the entrepreneur. And this is, bear in mind, this is in line with SDG number 5, 7, and 9 of helping people in line with our Bank Negara value-based implementation or performance management framework, where we do initiative, what we call this is social financing, as contrast to business financing, of which the bankers is always been seen that looking for profit, giving the umbrella when the time is good, taking the umbrella away. So we clearly differentiate. We are Islamic financial institution. We are different. We are cooperative bank that we are different. In line with our commercial, we make big profit. We make a big benefit that we distribute among the members, among the people, and we share. And we are concerned about community. And of course, you can see the series of entrepreneurship programs that we are running. We have start with Asnaf Prono for those really poor, they qualify whatever the donation. And then we have Rakyat Prono that cut across organization, B20, various kind of business. And yet to be launched is Uniprono that cut across the universities. And we also introduced Sukan Prono or Sport Prono for all those involved in sport. They affected, allocated 10 million on that. There is more of this other program. And a lot more that we are putting the niche and focus to those specific groups so that these changes and the impact can be felt by all these entrepreneurs within whatever their scope, because their problems are different. They need more than money. They need encouragement, they need support, they need networking, they need marketing, they need a lot of things that I think within the ecosystem of government, ministry, universities, professors, everything, all the ideas has to put together in order for any country to come up with from this pandemic situation that affect both the health and also the economic, that I think both are equally severe for the people. That is my take for the start.
Thank you, Prof. Dato. Just for, because our audience are international, I just like to translate some of the words that, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Bank Rakyat means people's bank. Correct? So Rakyat means people in Malaysia. And we also talk about Bank Negara. Bank Negara is also known as the central bank. Okay, so that is for the our international audience. And I would like to move on to Ms. Tata. I heard a lot of interesting stories because you have started from being a mentee, and then you have grown to be from a micro side, grown to have generated unemployment. And it is also interesting that you started your business soon after retirement. And
yes, that's right. Yeah. So yes,
would you like to share your experience?
Yeah, I just would like to agree with Prof. Datuk. It's not all about the money, because you just said it. I came from retirement, so I had the funding, but I had my business for like 2 years, and it was just like a hole in the wall. And the only time I was able to expand was when I was mentored already. And 6 months within 6 months from graduation, I was able to triple the manpower complement and then quadruple the sales. So like Prof. Nonoy mentioned, the MSMEs is like 99% of the economy. So imagine if all MSMEs will allow themselves to be mentored like what I did. And, if everybody will quadruple, why not? That would be a boost for the economy, or even just half of that growth. So, yeah, it's totally the mentoring, the knowledge in, you have to acquire some business acumen, no matter how excited or passionate you are with the concept that you have, unless, like Prof also mentioned about registering. So unless you put everything, legalize everything or officialize everything, it would be so hard to expand. So there.
Okay.
By the
Alright,
way, did I mention that Prof Nonoy was our dean, or one of our main mentors during our batch? That's why I was mentored well.
Thank you.
I learned from the
Okay.
best.
All right. So, okay, we move on to the next question, and I will pose this question to Prof. Dato first, and then followed by Prof. Nonoy and Ms. Tata. And probably some of the issues or answers had already been deliberated just now. But let me reiterate: the International Finance Corporation of World Bank in 2020 estimated that 65 million firms, or 40% of formal micro, small, medium enterprises in developing countries have an unmet financing needs of 5.2 trillion every year, which is equivalent to 1.4 times the current level of global micro, small, medium-sized entrepreneurs lending. About half the former SMEs didn't have access to formal credit. Please share your experience on how to improve MSMEs' access to finance and find innovative solutions to unlock sources of capital. And I pose it to Prof. Dato, and I believe there will be a video first, Prof.
Assalamualaikum, saya Rosimah binti Katan daripada Taipei Perak. Saya meniaga kuih bawulu supaya rakyat dapat membantu kita dengan modal saya.
Assalamualaikum, saya Linda binti Iskandari dari Kampung Petlaga. Bidang saya ialah bidang jahitan. Bersyukur kerana dipilih dalam mengikuti Rakyat Premium 2018.
Assalamualaikum, saya Kumala binti Abu Bakar daripada Sedamat Johor. Saya menjalankan perniagaan menjual sate.
Assalamualaikum, saya Muhammad Rizwan Maulana bin Abdullah. Saya seorang peniaga putu mayam di Cawan Perak. Dana ini saya akan gunakan untuk membeli peralatan putu mayam.
Assalamualaikum, nama saya Siti Raja binti Muhammad Ismail, berasal dari Teluk Air Tawar, Batu, Pulau Pinang. Saya bersyukur terpilih dalam program RP 2.0.
Hai, saya Nuriana Jamaluddin. Saya menetap di Negeri Sembilan. Saya duduk di Taman Seri Sendayan. Lokasi perniagaan saya adalah di rumah. Saya buat GrabFood, Foodpanda dan sebagainya lah. dan juga buat lauk basah.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Saya Nolida binti Omar daripada Fakihah Jaya Enterprise, Besut, Terengganu. Saya usahawan cookies dengan kek dan roti.
Terima kasih banyak pada Bank Rakyat kerana memberi modal untuk saya meneruskan perniagaan saya.
Saya berterima kasih kepada Rakyat Bank memberikan peluang pada saya.
Terima kasih Bank Rakyat.
Terima kasih Bank Rakyat.
Terima kasih Bank Rakyat.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih Bank Rakyat.
Yes, Prof. Datuk, there are a lot of terima kasih there. Terima kasih means thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Prof. Datuk.
Okay, actually Bank Rakyat have gone a long way in history, being a cooperative financial institution that been set up in 1954. This is a long time. It's almost 67 years that we have been in place with a clear mandate to enhance the well-being of the members, customers, and nation. By virtue of that, we have converted ourselves to become a full-fledged Islamic bank in 2002, of which we have shifted some of the goal from just profit-oriented. Most of if we look at the normal organization, they want to maximize the return, the shareholders' values and whatnot. Yes, we have that, but now we are venturing in line with CDGs, in line with value-based determination, that we introduce social financing scheme, of which one of them that are running now is Rakyat Bank, which we can see that these people, they are from all walk of life. They are underserved. They are doing tailoring, they are doing food business, they are doing a lot of business, they're in sports skill. They have lost all their capital. They cannot operate at the roadside, and they're locked because these are the people underserved. They are living from day by day. If they do the working, do the selling, they got the income. But by virtue of this pandemic, initially last year when it first started in April, we all in total lockdown for 6 months, and whatever saving they have is gone. So by virtue of that, understanding the needs of the people, that's why we are running this program, putting injection of fund for these people and helping them to get on the foot through all this online business and whatnot. And this is also in line with whatever our objective. So as we all know, as I mentioned, that to date, about 500,000 SME have difficulties and in the stage of closing down. If the sectors has not been opened soon enough, which now the government is opening, and we know that 700,000 people are unemployed currently, and many of these unemployed people, they are professional that never before that are senior engineer, senior pilot, all these people are unemployed and they cannot find job, and even to become a Grab driver now, there are so many people that in this area and hardly for them to survive. So this is a situation where I believe that the government agency, the government incentive giving a lot of support in terms of all those programs that Bank Rakyat on our side. Also, we have put a lot of initiative to help this segment, particularly through one of our schemes that other than other financing scheme that we are giving them, what we call, when during the pandemic, we have launched 300 million, what we call BR Cares, that giving to the people from micro, from 10,000 to up to 100,000 for them to continue with their business, to hold whatever their capital, and the repayment period, moratorium, automatic, we give them 9 months for them before they can start paying. And so far we have monitored this group. The non-performing finance loan is very small, and of course there are difficulties, but through the selection process, through the training program, all these things, that these kind of niche program is very successful in our setup to help MSME sector. That's my take for now, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Dato. We move on to Prof. Nonoy. I was told that you have experience with a field center for entrepreneurship, that is Go Nescoyo, particularly from the mentor point of view. Please share with us on your experience, Prof. Nonoy.
Yeah, normally people will always say, I need money to grow my business. But I would like to say that money should be the last, because you can have the money, but you can lose your money if you don't know how to, where to use it. Well, if you also go to lending institutions, they want to secure their funds. They lend to business such that they only lend to entities capable of paying them, paying back with very sound business operation. Meaning, they look at it, the soundness of your business, whether you are capable of paying. Otherwise, they will charge you. They will charge you very, very high interest, or they require collaterals for the loans applied. Maybe you put your house or your property as a collateral. So their requirement make it difficult for a beginner to borrow money. Hence, many micro enterprises resort to the informal lenders at usurious rate, very, very high rate. In our mentoring program, our mentoring program is really designed to improve the capacity of the MSMEs. And we have to approach, as a mentor, our approach is to build capacities among our mentees, making them bankable and qualifying them with a sound business plan. So money as a module comes later in our mentoring modules. After we start, we look at first with mindset. This is the first module in our mentoring. Mindset, it starts with the mind. It starts with, the proper proper view of why you are into business, why you want to go into business. And we invite mentors also to share their stories from rags to riches, their stories of how they started. So again, mindset is very important. Second is model. So we talk about models. Now, what's the best model? So we look like, for example, we use the business model canvas as a framework. And the third is we look at marketing. We look at marketing. Is the market there? Is the market there? And what kind? Who is your market? Who are you trying to, serve your market? And the third and the next is methods. So we talk about operations management. We talk about how you do business. So here, and if you notice, money comes later. So we now talk about where to source fund, and later on also the different platforms of financing. They need to learn also about how to read or understand financial statements. The language of business is finance and accounting. So if you're in business and you do not know about this language, you might end up losing your money. So here, this is the simplified, the 5 M's mentoring modules, which we designed down to the village level. But our original, which is ongoing mentoring program, comprised of 10 modules. It is a 3-month program. They go through, and money is in fact the module number 8 in that 10 module program. Okay, so for the money lenders or investors will come if you have a sound business plan. Now, if you have a sound business plan, they will go. They will allow you. They will finance you. So we coach mentees prepare their business improvement plan. We call that the BIP, the business improvement plan. And in today's pandemic, it's now called business recovery and innovation plan. We coach mentees how to prepare that. And with financing companies, we invite financing companies as panelists in their presentation. So they will present their business improvement plan, including their business model canvas, etc., etc. And you know, we 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 target 10% of those mentees who will be financed. Who will be financed? No. For the non-KME mentees, we also have a special program on 3M. We call that the Mentor, Market, and Money Encounter. It is a one-day program of one-on-one mentoring with marketing and financial providers as speakers, as well as on-the-spot assessment and application of participants. So here we have the presence also of angel investors. There are angel investors, and me myself also is an angel investor. So when I invest in a particular business, I make sure that I also have to mentor them. No? So during this pandemic, the government allocated funds for MSMEs, but with the caveat to retain employees or not to cease its operation. No? So here is we support our MSMEs in the financing part. However, as I've said, no, we need to equip them. We need to capacitate them. As what Tata earlier shared, she has the money, but how to grow your business is one thing. That's the most important thing, because if you know how to grow your business, money will just come to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Tonoy. And Ms. Tata, you have gone through this whole cycle as a mentee of the Go Next Goyo Kapatid Mentor Me program. What have you learned? And please share with us, because Prof. Nono has given the 5 N's. Money is last.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I made a video. Can we start from the beginning, Andre?
Okay.
Okay. This will share my story faster. Thank you. Okay. So actually I was hesitant at first because I was sharing earlier that I had few people, so I was the only one on the floor. I was doing everything by myself. And the Kapatid Mentor Me program, everything that Prof. Nonoy enumerated or shared a while ago, I went through that for 13 weeks. So I was hesitant at first since I was the only one handling the business. That would mean 13 Fridays. 13 Fridays away from the store, and that would mean 13 Fridays without sale. So if I didn't have that, I don't have that entrepreneur mindset at that time, but I was just convinced by one of my clients, Miss Melanie Nang, who was then the president of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, to really she was already telling me that you really there's a lot of opportunities in your shop because the orders are delayed and then we are not meeting standards anymore. So I just decided to do that pause and equip myself, and I'm so glad I did. And that's why I'd like to share with with unipreneurs now, if I was able to sacrifice my sales for 13 Fridays, I mean it would be a much better time now, since it's a downtime, so it's like we have less to lose, right? And this would be the best time for us to equip ourselves, learn digitalization, or probably have yourself mentored with all the programs that is available in the government now.
Thank you, Ms. Tata. I have a question from one of the audience, from Farah Adil. The question is, most of the cottage business or entrepreneurs work also during rural areas, agriculture, handmade work, especially women. How do this project approach them? I think Mr. Tata, you are most appropriate to answer this question, because you are a woman, and also your business is on modified to alter, right? Which is something to
Yes,
do
yes.
with the handmade work. So can you please respond to this question?
Yeah. What what is nice about the Kapatid Mentor Me program is we are able to they gave us this network. So basically, those from the agriculture, or doing the handmade works and stuff, they cannot sell their works directly to the market. So we have what we call Prof Noy matching, right? We have the matching, wherein some of the retailers who already have the market, they like collaborate with this agriculture, or hand whatever with them. So like we specifically, we have like the raffia and handicrafts, and that some of them are not even like the finished products. Like we ask from them to do like the buttons, or just part appliques for the total garment. So it's like coming up with a collaboration. In that way, those that already have the market or the capacity to distribute can help them. And also, since nowadays, specifically in the Philippines, everybody's into that go local, wherein we are promoting or advocating consumers to buy from local suppliers. So in fact, retailers are even promoting. They use it. They capitalize on the fact that we are using locally sourced materials, and they really explicitly promote that, advertise that, and even to the extent some would go as specific or personalized as having a picture of that specific manang, or that lady that made that specific button or the pin that is attached to the garment, and it helps.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I have a rejoinder on that? On the program, we make this nationwide. The Mentor Me program is made nationwide because Department of Trade and Industry has nationwide offices, and they also have what they call the negosyo centers. And who are the mentors? So we also deploy mentors. We look at the different chambers of commerce to also recruit mentors there. No? In the later, perhaps in another time, I can share that with you. No? But here, the other concept of mentoring, after mentoring, is really capacitating them in terms of the equipment, etc. This is where maybe the lending companies, and as far as DTI is concerned, they have what they call the shared services facilities, that the group they can lend money to a group so that they can share the facilities. That's actually the second level. The third level is to link businesses with each other. So it is an ecosystem of business. So that we call that the big brother and the small brother. The big brother, they're encouraged to buy from the small. We say there's a saying which we always advocate: buy from the small, sell to the rich. Sell to the rich, buy from the small. In this way, you are helping the small, and you sell to the rich because they have all the money. So for rich people, please try to look at your small brother. Even those people vending on the streets, don't bargain because they are there for a living. You buy from them. No, you won't lose your wealth buying from them. You're helping them make a living. So buy from the small, sell to the rich.
Okay, Prof. Dato, I've seen your video. You have also lots of ladies participating in your program. So can you share with us the experience, Prof. Dato?
Yeah, our program generally majority of participants are women. These people are very dedicated. Ladies are they're honest, they're hard work, and many of these ladies they are single parent. So that's why majority of participant ladies, and in our selection process, we have collaborated with all the state pusat zakat. This is a collection center for all those zakat in English, contribution by all the people, so we collaborated across the state, and in terms of our selection, coaching, mentoring, and monitoring, there are selection process that going through this process, and eventually, in terms of capacity building, we collaborated with INSCAN, Institute Kesusanan Entrepreneurship under Merdeka, and also UITM, because UITM have branches all over the country, and they have business school and whatnot. So they help us to monitor and bank through our 147 branches across the country. We'll also do the coaching and monitoring and disbursement of funding. So it's all coordinated program that been done so that this program will be really successful and have an impact on the people.
Thank you, Prof. Dato. So I will move on, because of time constraint, move on to the third question, which I shall pose it to Ms. Tata first, and followed by Prof. Nonoy and Prof. Dato. The question is, the Ministry of Higher Education estimated that 1 in 5 of fresh graduates in Malaysia is struggling with unemployment today, despite investing a large amount of money and time obtaining the bachelor's degree. I believe this phenomenon is also similar in other countries. Hence, it prompts the need for an innovative scheme that aims to promote and develop entrepreneurial skills for students to create potential employment and opportunities by producing unipreneurs. Can you enlighten the audience how to engage our university students with an entrepreneurial mindset? Over to you, Ms. Tata.
Okay, so like Prof. Nonoy said, if you're going to spend your money now and you don't have the capacity or the business acumen to know what to do with it, you will only lose it. So I also heard from Joey Concepcion that if you're not comfortable with the business that you want to try now, especially now within this with the pandemic, just hold on to whatever money you have. And if I may quote also Henry C., one of the richest, if not the richest man in the Philippines, says that set up during downtime, so when recovery happens, you are well positioned and ahead of competition. So in other words, it's like maybe at this time, I'd like to maybe encourage them to start by getting into internship first. So at least they will be able again to equip. I have been overemphasizing equip yourself. It was post-retirement when I started equipping myself with the knowledge in business and how to run a business. And so I mean, this students are still young, and it would be best to, like, I think the best way for now is to go digitalization or e-commerce. And if you've seen the Netflix show Startup, coding, and that should be a start. And even with I think we have our own the Go Negosyo Mentor Me, Kapatid Mentor Me program has its version in Malaysia. Correct me if I'm wrong, Prof. Nonoy, or we are going to there's like a
The amen.
like a yeah the version, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
is it a replica of some sort?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
I'll discuss that later.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So in other words, what I'm saying is, because I started when I'm old already, so I mean they're still young, and if it's a downtime now, I think they should start by getting more, equipping themselves more. I mean there's to make sure. And it's pandemic now, so there's a lot of problems, and they say if there are a lot of problems, there's a lot of opportunities because there are a lot of things to solve. And being a businessman is being a problem solver. So the more problems, the more business opportunity, right?
Yes.
So just look for more problems, which you think you're the only one who can solve it, or you can solve it better than competition.
That's good.
Yes, Prof. Nonoy. Do you want to add what has been said by Ms.
I like.
Tata? And I believe you have a slide to show so on
Yeah, and
especially focusing on unipreneurs.
yeah. Well, yeah, I like what Tata said. No? And I was not born from a family of entrepreneurs. I was a practicing chemical engineer. I never thought I'll be in business myself. No, and I only wanted to be a top-notch CEO. But being one, you've got to know how to run a business. And I was dealing with a lot of businessmen, and that's how I became really, a businessman. No? My advice to the unipreneur starts with you. So personal mastery is very important. The knowledge and a clear dream and aspiration on oneself. In the slide, you will see that. No, maybe you're familiar with the word ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese term. No, so you can Google this. Actually, no, I have a 1 hour talk on this, but I will not delve into this. No, so this is part of the mindsetting module. This is part in the mindsetting module about defining your ikigai, who we are, our purpose, our calling. Because if you recall the parable of the talents, each one of us has his own talent. So you are good into something. You must be good into something. You are passionate in something. And there is the market need. There is a market need, as what Tata said earlier. Oh? Even now, no, there's a lot of market opportunity needs of the market. So ask yourself, because that decision is very important for you to move forward. No, your mission now is to address pain points. In fact, no, as what Tata said, no, we are in the business of solving problems. No problem, no business. More problems, more business. So entrepreneurship, as I define it, there's one slide there. Entrepreneurship, as I define it, is really the ability of finding and offering unique but profitable solutions to problems. And I will insert unique, profitable solutions to big and recurring problems. Big problem, big opportunity, big business. Recurring problem, recurring, businesses also. So you start with the why. Then I will discuss about the concept of the you incorporated. You incorporated. You are a business. You yourself, you are your own business. No, even if you are a professional, because you sell your services to your employer. Somebody else might be better than you. You will lose that business. You will lose your employment. You have to compete with the others. You have to be best. So, and your employer is going to buy your services. And if they're happy about it, they're willing to increase your pay. If they're not happy about it, somebody else will take your place. No? So that is a mindset. The concept of you incorporated. You incorporated, it shares the approach of our careers as though we are the CEO, the CFO, the marketing director, head of sales, and head of research in our corporation of one. By clearly defining our goals and working diligently at fulfilling them, we will follow the career path that gives us professional and personal satisfaction and position ourselves to weather any volatile business climate. So having a long term, what do you do best? What you do best is the product you can sell that others are willing to pay or employ you. You have to compete versus others and aspire to be different, to be better and different. You can also be paid more if customers or your employers are happy, delighted with your performance. Remember, your name is a brand. Build it and take care of it. Don't shortcut. Build your name, build your brand. Do not waste your time on low value activities that will not bring you closer to your dreams and aspirations. Sharpen your soul. So, always invest on developing yourself, learning on what skills or competencies are needed in the future. Again, networking is very, very important. In your classroom, there's networking. Outside networking, develop potential partners, providers, and customers. And finally, learn to love the language of business. What is the language of business? It's about numbers, measurement. Anything you cannot measure, you cannot manage. Anything you cannot measure well, you cannot manage well. Learn how to love accounting and finance. So, finally, you have to dream big. You have to dream big. If you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to help build theirs. Dreams will set apart people at a young age and differentiate them, their destiny versus the born owners. Because there are COOs, child of owners, they don't dream as much. So that will make them different. Dream and build, work to build that dream. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Nonoy. And before I proceed to Prof. Dato, we have a question from the floor from this one from Jeniza, and in the same breath, can you also answer her question when you take on this question 4? The question is, how does Bank Rakyat, because this is the focus on Bank Rakyat, how does Bank Rakyat participating in providing consultancy, marketing efforts, and channel for Unipreneurs? Over to you, Prof. Dato.
Okay.
The question is on the screen.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Xiao. Very interesting. Prof. Nono has elaborated a lot with regard to entrepreneur qualities, what need to have to become entrepreneur. What I'm going to say today, the whole landscape has changed with regard to pandemic. It has speed up the digitalization process. Whatever the skill, the entrepreneur have before, it has to be relearned the skill in this kind of new area. It's a new normal that we have to live with. So as such, as there are problems, as been said by Tata, there's a lot of opportunity that arise. So as a student, when you enter university with this young age to explore all the knowledge and experience, so it will be a new landscape that all the universities should encourage their students to set up the business in a group of people and whatnot as part of the project, innovative project. The universities has all these business school, entrepreneur school. Rather than learning all the theories, they can start the project because now the location, geographical, whatever the boundaries is no longer there. Is the world now at the fingertips? And we cannot imagine 20 years ago that we can have a seminar be live all over the world just under one screen. So this is happening. So by virtue of that, you can see that digitalization today, online business, of which can easily innovate by the student. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity. And you look at the world business today, the most successful business today is all the online business and the platform business. You look at the Shopee, everything you ask the small kids where to buy, they mention Shopee, for example. You look at the Grab, orders, the company that helped during pandemic to deliver the food at your door. So all this a new platform innovation that the student has the opportunity in light of today's digitalization to think, innovate, and focus. Forget about the traditional business, traditional employment. After I got your degree, you score 3.9, 4.0 in CGPA. It's required as a process, but eventually what make or break you is all the knowledge, experience, practicality of the today's new normal. So those skill that is required is definitely digital skill. Today, the people looking at all this AI, blockchain, big data to explore the business opportunity, and innovation can be done and all these things. And the bank now no longer opening branches. They're no longer moving expansion toward brick and mortar. They're looking at all those IT scientists. They're looking at different set of people. They're looking at all those creativity, and people can work from anywhere. Now, 70% of bank employees, our bank, they're working from home. The KPIs are set differently. Productivity are set differently. The skill are set differently. It's no longer bound by your discipline of coming 9 a.m. in the morning and go back at 5. So this kind of thing need to change. So that's why the paradigm shift has to happen within the university landscape. So that's why we introduced this Unipreneur, so that this kind of innovation, entrepreneurship can be installed, and those problems with unemployment of the graduates can be at least solved or mitigated. As you can see today, in Malaysia, 700,000 unemployment officially, and half of it is unemployed graduate. And make it worse, those that been employed now become unemployed. Whatever the skill that you have before is become irrelevant. You need to reskill these people. We need to retrain these people. We have to look at all the new spectrum of skill and requirement of where we are today. So that's why I think today's webinar is very important as awareness and eye-opener, and as an initial step moving forward, how we can do a paradigm shift within these youngsters to look at all those different set of skills needed in order moving forward to become a successful entrepreneur, to become an employer instead of employee, to become a job creator like Ms. Tata have done, rather than become a job seeker. So this kind of mindset that we want to develop in line with whatever the session today. And looking at the question, let me see the question. How does
You want to read? You want me to read the question? How does Bank Rakyat participating in providing consultancy, marketing efforts, and channel for Unipreneurs? Can my technical team please flash the title? Yeah, please. Okay, thank you.
Okay. First of all, we do collaboration. Strategic collaboration is the main thing. That's why Unipreneur, we collaborate with the universities. We collaborate for the pilot program. We have 10 universities that collaborating with us, 6 IPTA and 4 IPTS, including
AeU. Please mention.
ASEAN University. Okay, as one of the pioneer program of 200 participants that we allocated initially about 200,000 for this program. So collaboration is one thing, and in terms of channel, we cut across the whole country with this collaboration in selection, coaching, mentoring, and monitoring. So that's why within the Unipreneur, we want to see different set of skill, different set of mindset, different set of entrepreneur skill in terms of platform, innovation, digitalization will come up from this process. And then marketing effort and channel of entrepreneur, as I mentioned, marketing effort, we going a lot through YouTube, through press, through all those whatever social multimedia now. As a Unipreneur entrepreneur, we will market you. We will play within YouTube. We interview the universities, we interview the student. This will be part of encouragement, part of awareness to see that, you know, these are the people. And if any of the project, we expect if 10 or 20% of this project is successful, you can move from Unipreneur to become the small micro, you can become the SME, and you will get the support from the normal frame, the normal system. You can go to the bank, venture capitalists, you know, a lot of angel investors. Many people will come looking at your project. And before you graduate, I believe if you do it right, you can become a millionaire student at a very young age. Yes, you know, because this is the idea. Grab start with the idea. Airbnb start with the idea. And many of the platform Shopee, their idea, they are nowhere in the last, you know, maybe some a couple of years ago. But today they are billionaire and controlling across the globe. They have changed the whole, Grab has changed the whole landscape of taxi drivers. They have put, you know, all the taxi drivers in the world out of job, you know, to redo this kind of innovation. So it has to happen within this university landscape, which I believe we can. We have many professors, we have many ideas, and it is the lab that doesn't matter if you go wrong, you know, and we are giving you the seed capital to start with for your innovation. So that is my take on that.
Thank you very much, Prof. Dato. Since you have excited the audience from micro to more SMEs, I would like to pose this question because this question to you and followed by Ms. Tata and Prof. Nonoy. The question, in the study by Forbes 2021, it was found that OECD countries, almost 6 in 10, 57% leaders are scale-up had experienced a moment of uncertainty when they were afraid that their business would fail. However, according to United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, MSMEs, including Unipreneurs, can power a stronger recovery from COVID-19 pandemic due to their innovative and opportunity-seeking nature. Please share your expertise on how you would know when you are moving from a startup to a scale-up, and why is innovation pivotal to scale up effectively? Over to you, Prof. Dato, and I believe that there will be a slide to complement your answers.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So, in fact, when we started this kind of social financing within the landscape of our bank as being the number one progressive cooperative Islamic bank in Malaysia, it started with the idea because all these years that every year Bank Rakyat contributing close to 100 million yearly from our profit. We provided contribution to SKM. SKM is a security cooperative organization that monitor all the cooperative. So saya Cooperative Malaysia. We contribute about 20-30 million a year in development of cooperative. Cooperative is another set of entrepreneurship body that people can form together and do the business for the common to enhance the well-being of the common members. And Bank Rakyat is one of the cooperative bank in Malaysia. We are ranked number 2 now with regard to Islamic bank. We are within the top 10 in the world in terms of size, in terms of profit. So by virtue of that success for the last 66 years that we set up Bank Rakyat, we have realized that the need to enhance those entrepreneurship within the people within the system need to develop within that niche group. We cannot have one size that fit all. Of course, the government has supported a lot with kind of scheme and funding and whatnot. But for us in Bank Rakyat, we understand the needs of certain segment, the need of the people. But for example, the need of cooperative, there are different in the setup. So looking at this, when we start the Rakyatpreneur, we can see that the needs of this set of the people, they are different. They are different set of the people. Their needs are different. Their problems are different. Looking at that, we also understand that 1 out of 5 graduates, they do not have job. And when they come out with a degree, all they got is a degree, at the same time, they have the education loan need to be served, that they have taken for the studies. And many of these people, they are from B40 groups, not well to do, we have a big dream, like Professor Dono said, they have big dream and aspiration. And the moment that they go back to their hometown, cannot find a job, and they are graduate, their spirits, everything, might be affected. So as such, in order to enhance this, so that's why when they start coming into university, we would like to also suggest and propose that university should set up a small funding for this innovation. I know some universities have done it every year. They set a fund, a small fund, maybe 1 or 2, 3, 5 million. I know some universities are putting yearly about 5 million, as entrepreneur fund, of which they can fund the student for their innovative product. And when they come in, all the students should be encouraged to set up their own companies, whatever field, and by virtue of that, that's why we take some of the spirit that we set up this, we propose for this Unipreneur scheme. Initially, we will select about 200 students from 10 universities. We allocated initially about 200,000, and this is a pilot project. And eventually, if this project is successful, we might allocate a bigger funding and bigger number of people. If, for example, 20% of this scheme successful, you just imagine the amount of innovation, the number of business that have been created, the number of jobs that can be created from this scheme. So I believe with this total support of ecosystem within the universities, within the ministries, within the banking circle, I think we can help a lot of these people where they can move, from startup, they can move to the next level, become the micro, become SME, and even moving to bigger scale, because the learning path is from the beginning, and they have the program, mentor, mentee, exposure with regard to latest technology, digitalization, innovation, and then university also can encourage within the university level to set up all those business venture. For example, you can set up cooperative within the student. Now 10 people can set up a cooperative, and cooperation also have a lot of incentive for these people. And all the business in the university campus, you can set up as a retailer. You can have set up the the seminar for entrepreneur, retailer. They can do a lot of business within the campus itself, which I used to do when I was a student. Selling a bond, MOHE, bus trip, during communication, do a T-shirt. A lot of things, business can be created within the students so that they can explore, experience. It's become experiential learning for all these people, and also for the university professors, they have a lot of, innovation, research. They can test within this business venture, and we can attract a lot of venture capital to come in and look at all this project. That is my take on this, and I hope with this kind of strategic collaboration between universities, we can even encourage across the region, within the ASEAN region, what are the things that we can collaborate and do the exchange, in terms of product, in terms of services, because now is digitalization, is a borderless world, and it's no longer confined by the location. So this is another thing that I think we can explore within this ecosystem. So Unipreneur is an initiative that we will launch soon after the successful implementation of pilot Rakyatpreneur. And definitely we are looking at a few other ventures. I.e., we are looking now at a group of the people, professionals, that are losing their job. They must have something good within them. Their morale is very low now. They have lost all their saving. And definitely there's another area that we want to think and explore how to help these professional people in the middle age and a level of age that they have the commitment and they lost, some of them lost everything, including their spirit. So I think it is responsibility for all, to help the whole nation, the people at various category and segment, because their problems are different. And some of them, they become very low morale. They are ashamed because they are middle class. They're driving big cars. They just bought big house in the community and they lost everything. And they cannot find a job in this situation. And even in my area, there are senior pilots that lost their job. They are engineers, many of them, and they come back and stay with their parents, with the kids and whatnot. And the state of mental illness is going up. Suicide rate is going up. So I think this is the concern of everybody, that we can do something if everybody put some mind, some focus, some effort, some help cognitively. We can do something for our nation, for our people, for our country, eventually the world. So we are in it together. This pandemic is the war for the whole mankind. So that is my take on this. If any other question,
thank you, Prof. Dato. We move on to the to Ms. Tata. We were told that Ms. Tata, you started the altar to enhance. By Tata, and as a humble beginning in 2014 in Cebu, but now it has gone across to Manila and so on, and you have grown big. So I would like you to share your experience, especially in the midst of from startup to scale up.
Yeah. This is also in line with the question: how do you know when you need to scale up, or you have already upgraded? I think you will know when it's your clients or customers that are already starting to market you, or they are the ones promoting you. So initially you have a brand, you have a product, okay, you have a good product or a service. But the common practice, or I would say mistakes of most newbies or startup entrepreneurs is they are so excited, especially if they know so much about creating content, about the online social media world. So they start by promoting already. They are paying influencers or giving freebies for their products to be promoted and to be seen. So without even being ready, if should the demand increase, if they are even ready for it, so you would know that's how we started also. Initially you just have a good product, and then when your customers starts talking about it, or they are the ones already selling you, they are the ones selling your product, that's when you know that you already have a brand. And when you already have a brand, that's when you know that you have to make sure that before promoting it, you are you have that capacity, not just in terms of your business acumen, capacity in terms of serving the demand, the equipment that you have. If you will be able to have that consistent standards across, it's different if you prepare just one cake versus preparing 100 cakes to be served at the same time. So you know what I'm saying? That's the common mistake, because people, the new entrepreneurs now, they have really good products, and then when it comes to big demands, it becomes it becomes their downfall, because suddenly customers are not getting satisfied, and then they get bad feedbacks. And at the time when they get into like Shopee or Grab, and then they cannot meet the demands, then they even get penalized. So there, that's my point. That's my 2 cents. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Mr. Tata. And we move to the last, to Prof. Nonoy. And Prof. Nonoy, while you are trying to answer this question, we have a question from the audience in asking you, how has Go Next Goyo replicating outside the Philippines? So
Okay.
over to you, Prof.
Yeah, I will answer that later, no? But I'll go back to the scaling up, the concern of scaling up, and I'm in the business of growing businesses. I'm a turnaround consultant, and I'm helping family corporations in the areas of professionalization, succession planning, governance, etc. And I've seen small to big companies now. So, well, a typical entrepreneur normally starts small and do everything himself, from purchasing to production to marketing to delivery and even collection himself. And then he does his accounting, he does his balancing, etc., etc. So he is all by himself. So that is what you call, I would say, that is what you call livelihood. Livelihood, why? No work, no pay. If you will not work, you will not have money. So you rely always on yourself. No, so you have to differentiate between livelihood and really being a real entrepreneur. No, so we teach our mentees to multiply themselves, to clone themselves, in structure and organize. And this is where you will have, options. Should I hire? People say, I will hire when I become big. Or should you hire so that you become big? So it's a chicken and egg, But you need. That's why in mentoring, it's very, very important. That's why we teach that, no, in the different modules that we have, no. So like Tata, for example, she was hesitant at first, but with the knowledge behind, no. That's why earlier we talk about fear is in fact the common, no, obstacle of expansion, no, of really moving forward. But if you have all this knowledge, no, that's why we teach that in the different modules, so that you will have a confidence, build your own confidence. Because if you do not have that, your strength becomes your weakness. You're strong, I mean, yeah, I have very good products, etc. I'm strong, I do customer service, but you're alone. So it becomes your weakness. So here I've shown in the chart, this journey of successful entrepreneur. It starts with, being an innovator. You solve a problem. You come up with something novel idea, etc. No, you invent something, etc. But most problems, you innovate, but how do you monetize? How do you make money from your innovation? Very, very important, no? That you will be able to monetize your innovation. The best stage, okay, they are the founders, the born innovators who excel at generating ideas. You have very good ideas. You act upon it. But will you make money out of it? That is the challenge. When you go to the next level, because you are able, from the product, there is a market fit. You're able to look at that, and you are going to monetize and ensure you are profitable in your operation. Then you become entrepreneur. And sometimes entrepreneurs do not even start as innovator, because they know already which problem to solve and how to do about it. So you make money, profitability. And then there is when you need to systematize. You need to maybe organize. You need maybe to ensure that you are able to sustain. So the next level is builders. No, builders. You're talking about company. Okay, you have a company model, the business model, and it is very important that there is a repeat of revenue and systems become critical. CEOs need to think and act more like builders, no? Because you need to scale up. No, scaling up. You build more. For example, like Tata, she built more stores, but you need to organize. You need the people there. The next level is you are an operator. Eventually, as a business creates opportunities to scale, the CEO should begin to adopt the mindset of an operator. We're looking at replicability of your business. I mentioned profitability, I mentioned scalability. You will look at replicability of your business. No? So this is when, like, for example, one cake versus 100 cakes. How do you do that? I'm helping now a client, in the same business, cake business, etc. How do we do it? Okay, systematize. And then I have a background on franchising. So franchising is a strategy of expansion. Okay, in fact, Tata has been thinking about that. No? So replicability. You are an operator. For example, if you are now a franchisor, you are now an operator. You don't man the stores. You are an operator managing other entrepreneurs. And the next level, at the highest level, we will have to make sure that you look at sustainability. Company begins to truly break through to a point where it is earning stable profits and growth, and the best CEOs functions as enablers, where their focus is more on enabling their organization to keep humming on all counts. No? So here is, we have to address sustainability. And this is where I always advise my clients. No? Sustainability talks also about next generation, running your business. So that's how you scale up. No, I'm showing, the runway of entrepreneurs. No, so if you are still in the second level, there's much way to go. So thank you very much, Professor Show.
Thank you very much. And Prof, you said you would like to have to share your knowledge about the what is it?
The Go Negosyo. The Go Negosyo.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the question. Okay, Go Negosyo. Our founder, Mr. Joey Concepcion, who happened to be the chairman of the ABAC, the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, when the Philippines hosted the 50th ASEAN Summit. So it was presented and was adopted ASEAN-wide about the mentoring program. And this mentoring program, we call that the AMEN, the ASEAN Mentoring for Entrepreneurs Network. And let me show a quick video about that, because Malaysia is involved also in this, being member of the ASEAN. So, Mr. Andre,
I've learned that ASEAN is really all about relationship. Organizations, ASEAN, APEC, they strengthen relationships because trust is built. And when trust is built, then we can all work together as one big region. The power of mentorship is what we want to do with many of our micro and small entrepreneurs. Build the largest mentorship base that will be able to help us enable every micro entrepreneur to become not just a survival entrepreneur, but to become sustainable and eventually grow.
The basic unit of the economy has always been moved by the MSMEs.
The pioneer mentors of the ASEAN Mentorship for Entrepreneurs Network.
Yeah, so in fact, we have run. There are several batches already in the of ASEAN. In Malaysia, very much involved. Except that during this pandemic, there's somewhat a halt. No? Now, it's not only across ASEAN, but I'd like to share with you that we go, especially during this pandemic, we have initiated also replicating that mentoring program down to the village level. No? I call that the barangay level, because we ask the local government, especially the here in Cebu, to finance this program to help us as economic simulating program to capacitate the entrepreneurs, especially in their survival, turnaround, and even their pivoting moves, so that these will remain as viable businesses during this pandemic. So in Cebu City alone, there are 40,000 registered businesses, and this year we've seen a drop. We've seen a drop of I would say about 5%. So we're only now about 38,000, and we are also looking at those who did not register for special mentoring program. So we're doing this. This is an ongoing thing for us now. So we need to replicate this model, the mentoring program, ASEAN-wide, as well as down to the smallest level of the village. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Nonoy. And time is catching up with us. I answer only two questions here. One has been addressed to AeU. It is a good initiative to reduce youth employment. Perhaps the industry can feedback what skills they need, and AeU can afford affordable mini masters for graduate in these areas. Indeed, Ms. Nayun, the university has moved towards unbundling the degrees in terms of micro credentials and micro degrees, and we have also the MOOCs. So for those of you who are interested to register in these courses, they are now available with the universities. So the second question is we move to specifically directed towards Prof. Dato' on because it's a bank negara's question. Salam, Prof. Dato'. Besides helping out the graduates to become Unipreneurs, scale up business in new normal, as we, the students who comes from B40 to apply a study loan with special rate from Bank Rakyat, Dato'?
Yeah.
The question is on the screen.
Okay. Bank Rakyat, through our Yayasan Bank Rakyat, there is a Bank Rakyat Foundation. We are giving up 0% financing for education for those B40. This can even be repaid through social capital, such as volunteerism hours for the student. And to date, I think we have about 3,000 plus, 3,000 or 6,000 plus students that are on our scholarship, and we have spent few hundred million over these years in helping all those B40 students and members children to pursue the studies under this program. This one, they don't have to pay back through the volunteerism and whatnot. Okay, and for those non-B40, we also have education financing, which is very attractive rate. You can come and discuss with us. That is the answer.
Thank you, Prof. Dato'. So, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities is available to you to apply to Bank Rakyat entrepreneurial scheme. And we have reached to the final part of the webinar. And I would like to thank all speakers, the distinguished speakers, Prof. Dato' Abdul Rani, the chairman of Bank Rakyat, Prof. Espela Vigelo, also known as Prof. Nonoy, from Go Nescoyo Visayas group, and also Miss Alita Della Casada, or better known as Miss Tata, as the mentee for the Go Nescoyo Kapatit Mentor Program. And I also like to thank the members of the audience that have spent almost 1.5 hours with us on this topic. and plus your questions. And lastly, I would like to thank all our technical staff who have assisted the running of this webinar and very smoothly. So thank you all, and we would like hopefully to see you again. I heard in a big way for your MSS micro, small scale, micro, small, medium-sized entrepreneurs. Okay, and thank you once again. And we would like to wish you good luck and stay safe. Yeah, when the pandemic is still with us. So good day. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you also to Haji Zul for inviting us.
Thank you, Professor.
Haji Zul, are you there?
Yeah. And